In the New York City race for mayor, Eric Adams picked up several endorsements from law enforcement unions yesterday.
The mayor, of course, is running for re-election as an independent. And while the mayor has strong financial backing, having fundraised over $1.5 million in the past month, the latest poll shows him running last in a four-way race with Zohran Mamdani, Andrew Cuomo, and Curtis Sliwa. Mayor Adams joins us right now in studio. Thank you for being with us, first of all.
Thank you. Good to be here.
All right, so I guess the place to start will be, with the polls. You look at the numbers, it does not look good for you as an incumbent. Record low approval ratings, 13, 14% in most of the polls, in fourth place. How do you turn this around between now and November? How can you?
Well, I think you go look at the same stats when I ran in 2021. I haven't started campaigning yet. And when you campaign, you're allowed to use your resources to get your message out. I've said it over and over again. My message has never really gotten out of how well we turned the city around. And every time I go to town hall, community meetings, and other groups, and I start laying out the message, they say over and over again, we didn't know that. And so this is the joy of campaigning. Andrew Yang had me by 13 points. And we were able to get out and communicate with voters, and that's what we're going to do now. Now remember, the polls had Andrew up 40 points, and it was impossible for Mamdani to catch him. He lost by 13 points, and that's why you have to be very skeptical about polls that show new voters are going to come out, new registrants. It's going to be an exciting campaign season.
One thing you keep bringing up, 21, and how you came back. The difference right now, though, this is not a one-on-one thing. You've got, especially with a moderate vote, everybody who's us instead of Mamdani, it's you, it's Cuomo, Jim Walden is in there as well. We should be fair and bring him in. Curtis Sliwa, you've got to overcome 2 or 3 other guys just to get to the one-on-one spot.
Right, but it wasn't one-on-one in 2021. Scott Stringer, Maya Wiley, Sean Donovan, Ray McGuire.
But I mean among the moderates now, or what's considered moderates, who are running as independents.
Well, there was Ray McGuire was extremely moderate. He had a very pro-business stance. Same with Scott Stringer, and Sean Donovan. Those were moderate candidates that I ran against. We had some folks who were far to the left, but it was very moderate. But this is what it's going to come down to, and this is what I'm good at doing. I have to show New Yorkers my record. It has not been done. We've been overshadowed over the last 15 months, and even in spite of that, what we have done around crime, around housing, around $30 billion back in the pockets of working class people, dropping the cost of child care, increasing earned income tax credit, no taxes in the city for low-income New Yorkers. People are not even aware of that, and so that's what I have to show the New Yorkers, that I didn't just talk about it, I accomplished what I ran on.
Let's talk a little bit about Mr. Mamdani, because right now he seems like the person to beat, and public safety is a big issue in this town. He's saying that he doesn't really want police officers responding to domestic violence situations. You were out there on the streets. Why is that a problem? You disagree with him. Give us the reason why that's a problem.
Huge problem. That is one of the most dangerous assignments an officer can go on. Officer Mora and Rivera were responding to a domestic violence incident. I saw the tapes, and I know what happened. They were assassinated. It seemed like a routine, quote-unquote, domestic violence incident. You send civilians to a domestic violence incident, you are putting them in harm's way, and it's almost reckless to do so. Every law enforcement community across the country would tell you that it's one of the most dangerous assignments an officer can go on.
All right, let's talk about what you would do differently under the new administration. You had 4 police commissioners, including Jessica Tisch, some lawsuits out there talking about criminal enterprise, running a criminal enterprise in the police department. What would you do differently? What have you learned over the last 4 years?
If you reach the age of 65 and didn't learn lessons, then shame on you. I cannot tell you how many times I've dropped the ball in life. I can't tell you how many times I hit bends in the road. But a bend in the road is not an end of the road. Make the turn.
But are you disappointed in some of the people like Edward Caban, good friend of yours?
I'm not going to point out specific people because they have lives, and I'm not trying to tarnish anyone's life. I don't want people to tarnish my life. I made mistakes in life, and I apologize to New Yorkers for watching what I had to go through for 15 months, which I said is lawfare. But I stood up for this city and will continue to do so, and that's important. You look at my hiring and my staffing that I put in place right now, from Randy Mastro, Commissioner Tisch, and other team members that are doing the job. And when you do an analysis, if we're real honest, and you look at even with these missteps, we moved the city forward. Record level of building housing, more jobs in the city history. Our economy is the strongest it has ever been. When you look at what this administration has done, people will analyze it and say what you want about Eric. But Eric took us from COVID to migrants and asylum seekers to crime, and this city is healthy because of what the team has done.
Okay, you can talk about this. Obviously, we need to ask you about the lawsuit from former Commissioner Donlin that came out this week. Just yesterday, actually, or 2 days ago, pardon me. You've said that he's a disgruntled former employee. You had the 4 former high-ranking law enforcement officials from the NYPD who had served 3-4 decades who were suing the city, and they came out last week. New Yorkers have seen this particularly over the last 2 years, and whether you say you're being targeted or you made mistakes in the people you hired, what do you say to the New Yorkers who are saying, you know what, I'm just tired of the mess that's coming out of City Hall, and I don't want to go through 4 more years of that?
What I'm going to ask them to do is look at their lives. Are your communities safe? It's the lowest number of shooters and homicide in the recorded history of the city. Look at your economy. Broadway had the best 12 years in history. Dropped unemployment citywide. 30% in the black and brown community. Is your child care cheaper? Yes, it is, because it's no longer $220 a week. It's less than $20 a week. Are you paying taxes as a low-income New Yorkers? No, you're not, because Eric said axe the tax for low-income New Yorkers. Are you a foster care child and your college tuition being paid off? Yes, it is, because you're not slipping through the cracks, because I'm giving you a life coach now until you're 21 and paying your college tuition. So what I'm going to say to them, yes, your mayor made mistakes like human beings make mistakes. But look at your city. Your city is a cleaner, better, safer city with the economy is strong. That's what I'm going to say to New Yorkers. And that's what I tell them in town halls. I walk into town halls and people look at me and say, I don't want to hear anything you have to say. When I finish my town hall, they say, there's no way I'm not voting for you, Eric.
Can we talk a little bit about the freebies that Mr. Mamdani is promising? Listen, we all like free stuff, right? But somebody's got to pay for it.
Right.
And is it possible to do the things that he's saying? Freeze the rent. What kind of repercussions would that have in the city? Because we're seeing the real estate world get very, very nervous. And what does this mean?
You know, what's interesting, many of his policies that he's stating he wants to help low-income New Yorkers is doing just the opposite.
How?
The 70s and the 80s, we went through rent rolls. This is how much money comes into a building to upkeep that building. When you saw those rent rolls go lower than it costs to upkeep buildings, you saw dilapidated, problem building areas, and those low-income New Yorkers had to live through those conditions. People walked away from their buildings, no more insurance costs. We saw a lot of arson. And that's the same with the concept of government grocery stores.
Could he do a lot of damage to New York City?
His policies will hurt working-class people.
How?
Free grocery stores, for example.
Well, first of all, we know how great the city runs things. NYCHA is a mess. So now we want them to, run the grocery stores.
Well, it's not only the inability.
Well, there's one in each borough.
Yeah, but
he's not running all the grocery stores. I'm not here to defend Mamdani, but it's not fair to have him. Well, it's not fair to have him answer for Mamdani. You answer for yourself.
But, we have to answer on the policies based on my record. Because I keep saying one doesn't have a record, another's running from his record. I have a record. The reason you could analyze me on what I have done, because I have a record.
Yeah.
And one would say, well, one grocery store in each borough, that sounds fine. But I like, as Fernando Mateo stated, cancer starts as one cell. You start watching it grow, it's going to dismantle our independent supermarkets, our bodegas, that Dominicans, Koreans, Chinese, Russian-speaking. This is the financial stability of the industries. And when you start dismantling and having government displace workers, now you're feeding the problem.
Mayor, we're out of time. You know how this goes. We got to keep it official time for everybody.
I look forward to it.
All right, we appreciate it. I have a feeling we're going to see you again. We couldn't get you in here for a year and a half, and now this is twice in 2 weeks I've seen you. So,
I like that.
All right, thank you so much. Good luck with the rest of your day.
Take care.